And Mike did a great job in giving us a brief resume of our new and distinguished superintendent. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Stephen Adamowski.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's a great day in Norwalk. I want to thank a number of the elected officials and dignitaries who are here today, who took time out of their busy schedule simply to be here to send a message of support for your work. Representative Laviol, Mayor Rilling, of course, Dr. Levinson, members of the Board of Education that are here, thank you for your support of our teachers, and this is important work. My role today at our convocation is to reflect with you a little on our context, where we are, where we're going. This will be an exciting year. It's going to be full of educational challenges, facilities planning, developing new education programs and options for our students and their families, and strategies for closing our achievement gap. Equally important will be an emphasis on maintaining and supporting our strongest programs and our most successful practices, all the many good things that are currently happening in each school. In my role at the State Department of Education during the past 4 years, I was able to be involved in a number of school districts throughout our state, particularly the urban districts. We have 177 little school districts in our state. Am I getting a feedback sound here? Thank you. And when you look at the cities in our state, most are declining in population. They have a diminishing tax base that has created very significant financial problems in most cases. And the school-age population in most cities is also declining. In fact, throughout our state, the only growth sector in urban education in the past decade has been charter schools. In contrast, our situation in Norwalk is very different. Our city's diverse population is growing. Development is occurring all over our city. Student enrollment is up in our school district and projected to grow further. Norwalk is a viable, vibrant city where people want to live and raise a family, in no small part because of its schools. So like many of you who came here, I joined Norwalk because I felt it was the only city in our state, maybe in the nation, that has a realistic chance to apply all that we know as educators to actually prevent the preparation gap that some students bring to school from becoming the sentence of an achievement gap over the course of their school careers. The State Department of Education has categorized the schools in every district using a school performance index into 4 categories. And if you look at the most recent iteration of this on the state website, you'll see 4 categories of achievement from lowest to highest. All of our schools are in the middle 2 bands. None are in the lowest, none are in the highest. The good news is that we have no low-performing schools. The great news would be to have schools in the top category. The factor that prevents this currently is the achievement growth of students in several groups: Blacks, Latinos, special education students, and English language learners. In many cases, income masquerades as race and ethnicity, with students who qualify for free lunch on the basis of income performing the lowest. This is the face of our achievement gap. Our good to great story requires us to flip this paradigm. There are some students who simply need more support and more time in instruction to reach the same standards, to meet those same high standards of the Common Core. Time and support need to vary. We need to implement a system of research-based intervention, Tier 2 and Tier 3 instruction for the elementary teachers here who are familiar with that. And some students simply need more time in instruction than others in the form of an extended day or an extended year. We need to improve the breadth and quality of our special education services and embrace the national research that suggests that dual language programs are the most effective way to meet the needs of English language learners. Another way we can better meet diverse student needs is through more high-quality choices and options for students and families. Our intra-district magnet schools need to become more robust. We need to add more distinctive choices until all schools in our district become distinctive and special in some way, attracting families with something no one else has, something no one else but you can do. We also need to work to develop our Global Studies Inter-District Magnet IB program and add at least one new inter-district regional magnet school in the next several years. We know how to close the achievement gap. It's done through rigor, relevance, and relationship. And our work in this area will define our good to great story. To do these things will require everyone rowing in the same direction and aligning with the tremendous partnership that we have and benefit from through the coalition of Norwalk acts. To do these things will also require stability and leadership at all levels. And I hope to set an example for that. However, stability and sustained direction derive more from the development of staff and succession planning than it does from how long any individual stays. I've mentioned Good to Great several times. A book by that title was written by Jim Collins at the University of Colorado some 20 years ago. It was a study of the most successful organizations and how they got that way. One of the findings is that organizations do better when they develop their staff and promote from within, rather than searching outside for leadership all the time. I hope that many of you will step up and be part of that new Norwalk way. The major goal of the district's strategic operating plan, developed by the Board of Education and my friend Manny Rivera as superintendent, is to close Norwalk's achievement gap by 2020. I hope you will see evidence of the strategies I've touched on today in the months ahead, and I hope you will play a key role in them. So we're all here today at a convocation, right? That's what we're calling it. Generally defined to be a meeting of important people to observe something. In this case, the start of the school year. The term comes from the Latin convocare, to come together. And as we come together today, I also need to say a few words about the culture that we need to create to do our work, and make a request of you. To an outside observer, the culture of our district at times has been contentious and hypercritical, and sometimes lacking in the unity that we need. While there may not have been adequate collaboration or clear direction at all times, there's a great deal of finger pointing when things go wrong. In this kind of environment, risk-taking is diminished. To close the achievement gap, we need to try 100 new things in order for 10 of them to be fruitful. We need to reward innovation and risk-taking. Failing at something we try is not a mistake if it contributes to our learning and informs our practice the next time around. This is, in fact, the hallmark of a learning organization. I am working to create an effective district central office that is vision-based and data-informed, one that can provide leadership and support to schools rather than micromanaging and monitoring them, one that can model professionalism and collaboration, and one that the educators in this room deserve. I would ask all of us in this room to practice 3 behavioral attributes as we move forward together this year. The first, we need to support each other. The success of any one of us in this room is dependent on the success of all of us. Every investment we make, time and energy, in helping a colleague elevates us and makes us all bigger and stronger. Second, we need to talk to each other and not about each other. While there is space for rigorous internal debate on any issue, it should always be directed at the person, at the issue, and not the person. This is kind of the adult version of what we learned in kindergarten, right? And should never be shared with students or parents outside of our internal community or appear on social media. The effect of us fighting with each other in public is to lower public confidence in all of us. Third, when considering a change of practice, we need to suspend personal judgment in favor of data. And remember, it's always better to try something and learn from it than to accept the achievement gap for any student. I know that if we all practice these attributes, our convocation, our coming together today, will extend throughout this entire school year. And we, all of us together, will increase our capacity to meet the needs of all the students of our city. This is not a job for any of us. It's a mission. We will narrow the achievement gap and close it over time. In doing so, we'll be a model for our state and our country, and we will have changed the lives of countless numbers of students while we do the best work of our lives. My best wishes to you for the best school year of your career, and Godspeed for our important work together.